What up, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back with another episode of the Shop Podcast here on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon. You guys joining us here on the live show. Shout out to Xbot. Shout out to Old Snaps. I just came out of the next podcast, man. They do a great thing over there. They do a great show. I appreciate the support from them. I appreciate being on the show. So he actually may be popping in here pretty soon in our podcast also too. So as you guys know, I had a big event yesterday. Got married yesterday. First thing I want to say is huge shout out. There was a huge shower of support. Congratulations from the Xbox community. I want to thank you guys for being part of that. I really appreciate that, and that's a really big deal to me, and it means a lot. So we got some great gamers here. A lot of them familiar faces. We do have one new special guest here. This gentleman here, he's always been active on Twitter. He's a big part of the Xbox community. This is the guy, when I want to laugh, I go to his tweets when I really want to laugh. So big guy in the Xbox community. So go ahead and shout out yourself, Mr. Poultry Spaghetti.
Oh yeah. What's up, people? It's Chicken Spaghetti. I want to thank PTK for inviting me on the podcast. Let's have a good show.
For sure. Awesome. And that's everybody's migrating over here. You guys typically know how we do it here on the Shop Podcast. We will be taking a few questions towards the end as you guys migrate over from the next podcast, wherever you're tuning in from. So we're going to go ahead and roll with my right-hand man. This man holds me down when I'm not around. Him and his wife hold me down, like one of a set of my best friends. Governor, go ahead and talk to the people for a little while, Governor.
What's up, man? It's great to be on the Shop Podcast. I've had one of the busiest days on YouTube as of late, man. I did an interview, went on Craps like Q&A thing. Now I'm on the Shop Podcast. Got the community game night tonight. It's just busy, man. It's good though. But I'm here. I'm
awesome.
great. I'm grateful to be on the show, man. I can't wait to talk some games.
Awesome, for sure. Then we got my other guy, Predator H2O, man, military man. Shout yourself out, brother.
Hey man, thanks for having me on again. Congratulations to signing away your life for the rest of your life. So, marriage is a beautiful thing. So enjoy it. And that's a big event, man. I'm so actually surprised you're here today. I thought you'd be out celebrating a little bit more with your wife, man. So big up on her for letting you. Yeah, big up for her letting you do another podcast, man. Actually, two of them today.
Why do you think I put a ring on it, man?
So good shit with that, man. Also, man, I'm gonna say this again too. Shout out to She Wolf, man. She did my logo for me. It's live, She Wolf. I got it up now, so shout out to her. I've been kind of away this week, man. I haven't really been active on Twitter at all. I've been busy trying to do some out processing. So, but yo, let's get this shit rolling. After the introductions, of course.
All right, for sure. All right, then we got Mr. Brutal Knight himself here. Part of the Shop Podcast. He's usually busy on the weekends. He ain't been here in a couple weeks, but just because he's not around, and still here in spirit. So go ahead, let everybody know where you at, Brutal.
Bro, my heart was here for the past couple weeks. You know that, bro. But
yeah, for sure.
I'm always happy to continue to lower your standards and have me on the show. And I'm ready to get this show started, bro. So let's get this thing going.
For sure. Like I said before, the chat is live. We got some people already filing in, man. Make sure you put your questions in. You can put them in now, or you can put them in later when we actually ask for them. But let's go ahead and get rolling with the actual show, man. We got some great topics lined up here for everybody. So, what we're going to go ahead and start with, man, we're going to go ahead and start with the PS4 Slim. Not surprising. It's been big in news recently, this week, for the most part, last week also, too. So the question that I want to pose to the panel and everybody here in the chat also, too, is the PS4 Slim, is it really Sony's best foot forward? The reason I'm saying that is because if you compare it to the S as far as what we know is like kind of, okay, let me backtrack. You had iterations, not generations, last generation also too. You had a 360, you had a 360 Slim, you had an Elite version, same thing with the PlayStation 3. You had a small version. I don't think they had like an Elite version, but usually you're getting something out of the deal when they do these iterations. With the Slim, it's just really smaller. It's kind of just a small form factor. I don't know the other benefits as far as like maybe an increased hard drive, slightly better, hardware. And I want to pose this question to the chat. So also too, So we're gonna go ahead and start with our special guest, you Spaghetti. Do you think this is Sony's best foot forward as far as the Slim?
Honestly, I just think the PS4 Slim is a horrible idea. It offers nothing over the original PS4, besides it being smaller, and at that, it's not even that much smaller. So really, I don't think it's a good option for consumers just going ahead and buying. First of all, it's uglier than original PS4, so I don't see a reason that new purchasers or customers or current customers actually will go forward and buy the PS4 Slim.
Okay, that's fair assessment. Fair assessment. What about you, Pred? I know you're more of a hardware guy. I was curious. Are there anybody getting any benefits from the Slim besides it being smaller? Is there anything else that they're talking about? I haven't heard anything.
I can sum that up in one word. Nope. I just when I was talking with GKB on his channel, I think last week we were talking about this, and it's like, could you imagine going into Best Buy or wherever place you buy your consoles from, and you have the Slim, you have the Neo, and you have a handheld PlayStation device, and you have VR, all sitting there on the shelves, and they're all different prices. They all do different things, obviously, and you're trying to make a decision on which one to buy. And obviously, this whole generation has been about power. So you're gonna pick the most powerful console. So that already trumps, if you're just a Sony guy, that already trumps you from getting the Slim. The Slim, I think it will sell to some people who just either don't have one and want to play some of their exclusives, or just just want to get a different system. I mean, like, I would consider getting a Slim if it's priced reasonably, like if it's like maybe like 150, 199. But now hearing that they're putting games on PC, I mean that just kind of makes me deter from even picking that up if I even really wanted to do it. So you're not getting any benefit. It doesn't have HDR. It doesn't have a Blu-ray, 4K upscaling, whatever it is. It doesn't have all the features that you get out of the Slim. So if you already have the original PlayStation 4, there's no need for you to pick this up. You're not getting anything out of it. You're getting less than what you already have now. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the sales are for this. And I'm not a big sales guy, but I think with what Xbox did, they released the Slim, right? But they know the Scorpio's coming a year later. It's targeting a premium person. With Sega, I was about to say Sega, Jesus. What Sony's doing, they're releasing this all like right within the same time frame, So and I know, you see the memes on there, like people being confused on what to get and what not to get. But like, especially when it came to the Slim, when Microsoft announced the Slim and the Scorpio during E3, people said, "Oh, it's going to be confusing." I think this, what Sony's doing, is a lot more confusing than what Microsoft did.
It reminds. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but it kind of reminds me of Nintendo with the Wii and the Wii U. People went and got the Wii U not knowing, or saw the Wii U not knowing it was actually supposed to be the next step. Like they're like, okay, what is this? It was, you know what I'm saying? There was nothing. Yeah, they didn't know it wasn't. I know people that went and literally looked at the box like, well, is it? They thought it was maybe an add-on to the original Wii. Yeah.
Somebody's popped in.
No.
Did somebody order a pizza?
Oh my god!
extra anchovies, it's weird, but if you want it,
I'm gonna try this, man. I'm gonna go up to Best Buy, and I'm gonna ask them like I'm gonna ask them what console should I get, and then see what they say. Like, should I get this or should I get this one? And see if I want to see if the media is marketing. It's been Microsoft's shit has been shit for marketing this whole generation as far as marketing their games, and I've heard people talk about they should be marketing ReCore more and stuff like that. But like their vision has been their vision is good, but their approach has been kind of fucked up. So I'm curious to see if people like the companies and stuff like that, like Best Buys and the GameStops and stuff like that. If you walk into those,
don't even try GameStop, man, because dude, I work there, man. Dude, don't even. You're gonna be disappointed.
From an insider over here, what do you think they're going to push people towards, the Slim or the? If I walked in and I asked you, hey, which one should I get, the Slim or the Xbox One S or the PlayStation Slim? Like, what would what is your company saying to do? Like, I mean, like, is it like, you do
Well,
what? Go
what
ahead.
I did when I was at GameStop. All right, if you notice, Xbox Live screams multiplayer, whereas on the PlayStation side, you had a lot of single player experiences. Before they signed the whole deal with Call of Duty and all that good stuff, a lot of their exclusives had to deal with single player experiences. So me being like, I like to know what the person wants, and I would just ask them, well, do you kind of go towards single player experiences, or do you go more towards being online, playing multiplayer and stuff like that? If they said multiplayer, I would bring them towards, the Xbox side and say, hey, this is what you get with Xbox. You got the Xbox Live service, stuff like that. If they said single player, I'd be like, I don't have it personally, but I've heard a lot of people say it, and I would point to another person that was there, that I was working with, that had, a PlayStation. I'd be like, this seems to cater more towards the single player experience, and I would bring them in that direction. But it depends. I've been in sales for a long time, and you have to know what your consumer wants. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay as much attention to them as paying attention to a sale. And I think that's where I kind of went above and beyond at the GameStop I was working at. And yeah, unfortunately, my supervisor thought that I should just sell PlayStation constantly. So
I hear you.
It's interesting. All right. I want to go ahead and get the governors of their best foot forward as far as the PS4 Slim, as far as features, different things like that. Because outside of it being smaller, you're not really getting much more. Nothing else is being brought to the table at this point.
Yeah, I mean, your question is, did they put their best foot forward? In the Slim, no.
Yeah.
In the original PS4, yeah, they knocked it out of the park. I mean, they're the market leader right now. So I don't really understand in this console generation why they would do just a basic Slim and not really offer anything else. Like, I've said this before on the podcast, like, it's not enough to be smaller these days. Like, tech is already smaller. That's a given. So that should just be status quo at this point. And we're more connected. We do more things. We're multitasking more and all that kind of stuff. So there needs to be more features to entice people to, go ahead and pick up the Slim. And it's going to be kind of a hard situation for Sony fans, this holiday with PSVR, possible Neo, and then the Slim coming out. What are they going to spend their money on at this point? It's really going to be tough for them for sure. Like, I mean, that's a lot of money to be spending, right? So yeah, I mean, I think the better value is the Xbox One S. I mean, it's going to be doing 4K upscale. It's the cheapest, UHD player out there. I mean, it looks awesome. So yeah, I really don't understand what they're doing here.
Okay.
Well, if I could just throw it in, what's going on with Sony is I strongly believe they just got caught with their pants down. Like, they were blindsided by the 1S with the 4K upscale, the HDR and stuff like that. They might have known about that before time as well, and they're like, you know what, our Neo is going to handle that whole thing, so we're all set with that. And then they like a train, like they didn't see that train coming, and that train is called Scorpio, and that just kind of hit them, and they don't have an answer for that right now.
Yeah, okay. That's that valid assumption. Okay, Brutal. What's your opinion, man, on that PS4 Slim? You think necessary or not, man? You think that it's enough brought to the table at this point?
I think it's playing along like with the general status quo of consoles since these all the way back to what PlayStation's has always released, like, I don't want to say just PlayStation, but back to like PlayStation 1, like there's always been the smaller iteration. And like what GKB was saying, like it's now just making a slim version, because up until this point there's been small increases in hardware, right? Like you have like the PlayStation, the PS2 had the integrated Ethernet integrated, then you had the 360 integrated Wi-Fi. These 0.5s, if you will, or these slim iterations of consoles are becoming, I think, less needed. I mean, whether you're Xbox or PlayStation, like Xbox did a really good job in giving people more than just a slimmer form factor, you know. So I mean, I don't want to keep spinning my wheels on the same thing that everybody else has already said, but I mean, there's only so much you can say to this argument. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Like Xbox gave us more in this iteration. They're going to be giving us more in the Scorpio. I mean, I'm excited to see what that generation has to offer. What this next year when they both come out. Like I don't know, man. I don't really see a necessity for these 0.5 iterations anymore. I want to see I'd rather see them put their time into putting all their marbles into the true meat and potatoes of what they want to sell, whether it be the Neo or whether it be the Scorpio. I mean, I understand that they're a company and they want to make money, and I mean either one is in my like this the Slim looks more like a I guess it looks more like a cash grab. Like I don't want to sound like I'm like leaning one way or the other, but it is what it is, man. Like there's nothing else added. There's no added value to this console aside from it being smaller. And if you want to look at it that way, it's not much smaller. I don't remember who said that, but there's literally like a very small decrease in size. So.
So do you think I got another question, Brutal? So I know you're not leaning one way or the other. Obviously, you don't want to influence your choice of words or anything like that. But what do you think the price point they're going to come at? If we can just get some type of a, I mean, maybe a round ballpark one. Where do you think they need to come in at with this thing? Or what's the most reasonable option for them?
They gotta come in. They gotta come in under what the Slim is selling for, or what the 1S is selling for. Its base model, because the 1S's base model is still offering things that we wanted. It's offering more options. It's offering the 4K, and it's offering the 4K Blu-ray player. It's offering more. So in that sense, I think they need to come in at the same price point, or at the very least the same. But I would suggest that they need to come in lower than what the 1S is selling for.
Everybody's saying that it could possibly be $250, but honestly, I think it's going to be $299 when they talk about it.
You think so? I don't know, man. I mean,
you know what, dude?
I think they have to. I mean, I think like I'm kind of with Brutal on that one. I think they have to come in. Do they really have to?
Do they really?
They're gonna come in, even if they come in with a higher price. Like, regardless of what any of us say here, whether you love PlayStation or you hate it, the PlayStation Slim is gonna sell either way. Like, they're not gonna eat shit on this. Whatever.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like,
but what I was saying is like think about it. Like, do they really need to sell the Slim? Like, or does it even need to sell a bunch to do well? Right? If they say hey, $299, and then you have the Xbox, but oh wait, don't worry about that because we got the Neo. So are they driving all the people to the Neo, or do they want you to go ahead and pick up the Slim? I think that they want you to go to Neo.
Oh yeah, G, you made absolutely great point there. I think the price point depends on when they are dropping the PlayStation 4K as well. Because if they drop the PlayStation 4K, they can kind of heavily market that. I believe in what the governor over here is saying, that they are actually going to push you more towards the PS4K, and they'll have that vanilla Slim just for anybody else. I don't think it doesn't look like it took a lot to make. They already, sold a bunch of hardware with the original PlayStation 4, and I think they're looking to kind of step it up. All right, and like I said, they got caught with their pants down, so I think they will kind of like get their consumer base over to the 4K as opposed to the Slim.
I think they're gonna go with $299 out the gate, and then right around the holidays they'll drop at the $249, and then once the PS4K comes out, they'll drop it down to $199.
Not a bad assumption, man. It makes sense.
Dude, if it's 200, they'll sell it. Like what you just said, the 4K, but it depends on when they release the 4K as
That's
well.
What I'm saying. Whenever that comes out, they'll drop it down to $199.
But what if they come out at the same time?
And then they're gonna confuse their consumers.
That is like worst case scenario, dude.
They have like 5 devices.
Dude, I don't put it past them though. That's the only thing.
I don't either.
Why the fuck would you come out with two consoles at the same time? Like when you're like, I think that the Slim in general is like to stay in the headlines because the S is doing so well. Like, I'm not saying they scramble together and like, all right, let's throw out a Slim real quick, but the Slim is helping PlayStation stay in those headlines, stay in those those hot news articles. You know what I mean? There's
I
something
agree
to
with
talk
you.
about still.
I agree with you, Brutal, but the problem is they're having an event here coming up, and I have to believe that the event is not just going to be about the Slim. They're going to be talking about the Neo. And as soon as they drop the official news and saying, hey, this is the Neo, blah, 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 anybody that was thinking about a Slim is just going to be like, nah, there's nothing there for me. I'm just going to save my money for the Neo at that
So
point.
Dude, it's kind of like what I did with the 1S though, because like I have the Elite console, so I have the hybrid drive, and I was looking at it, I was like, I already know I'm gonna get the Scorpio. Do I really need the 1S? And then I was like, well, like how fast does the games load, download, all that good stuff? But I was like, you know what? I don't really need that. I have the Elite console. I'll just wait for the Scorpio. Now, if they didn't announce the Scorpio, I probably would have traded this sucker in already.
Yeah, to be honest with you, man, like if they did, if the 1S came out and there was no, the only upgrade that they made was a smaller form factor, I would be making if you're truly just looking at it from an objective standpoint, like you can make the same argument that we're making about PlayStation that you can make about Microsoft. Like if you're just coming out with a smaller form factor of the same hardware you already have, because they announced the 1S and then did it like at the same time they had the whole Project Scorpio announcement.
Right, but they added value to the S.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that they actually added more value to the 1S was that saving point.
Yeah. And I think they knew that.
The same thing. I wouldn't have picked it up. I got two of these motherfuckers now.
You know, guys, it's kind of funny when it comes to Microsoft. Microsoft usually, when it comes to new technology, they sometimes have a habit of picking the wrong one. Now, if you look at last generation, you know, they had the choice of Blu-ray or the HD DVD drive, and they picked the wrong one. I think with the 1S, they finally got it right with saying, you know what, the future is going into 4K. People are adopting 4K TVs. Like, that thing is picking up speed so much right now. That is going to be the norm in, what, 2 years? Two years, maybe?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This holiday will be a big push this holiday, I guarantee.
They finally picked it, and what they did is they made the 1S their entry level for what's going to be the norm 2 years from now. If you have the original Xbox One, you'll still be able to play your games. That's no problem. But like, if you look at 2 years from now, a lot of people will have that 4K TV adopted in their living room, in their bedroom, and stuff like that. And they created their entry-level 4K upscale games with HDR console. Absolutely genius move.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move. I mean, especially at this point in the life cycle as far as the consoles, it's right about the right time to do that because 4K, I don't know what the adoption rate is, but it's steadily going up. I'm seeing 4K TVs hella cheap. Some really, really good TVs. So, and that's now. Think about in a year and a half, 2 years from now, they're going to be even cheaper. So, they definitely put their foot in the ring early.
Do you guys think that the transition from Blu-ray and HD, like 1080 to 4K, is going to, with like the growth of technology is exponential in my opinion. So, like, do you think that the further we're getting into the future with technology, do you think that the adoption rate of 1080 to 4K is going to be faster than it was from when we were moving into the Blu-ray like 1080 generation back in the day, or even 720?
I think so.
The price has to come down. The price has to come down.
Yeah, it's all dependent on the price, like what Predator's saying. Like, I don't think it's going to be as fast. It's because the 1080p's were much cheaper than the 4Ks. I mean, they're astronomical.
I'm not even talking about TVs. I'm not even talking about TVs. I'm talking about this picking up a. I don't buy movies that often, so someone please correct me on this. But like, a Blu-ray disc runs for what? How much? About $20?
Yeah.
How much does a 4K?
I couldn't tell you that, bro.
Yeah, I haven't bought any desk, but like,
they're like $30 for 4K.
Yeah, I mean, like the price of those discs have to come down, and as soon as we start getting cable providers to actually have 4K, that's when you'll see that big jump. Because right now, I'm still getting 1080p from my. I'm with. I don't even remember, but like.
Yo, Pred. Fred, you make a good point, but here's something that I don't think people are kind of putting into the equation, and that is people streaming their shows. A lot more streaming, a lot more Netflix, a lot more Hulu and stuff like that is being used than ever before, especially back in the beginning of like the 1080p HD generation. There's a
True.
lot more people
That's true.
streaming shows and stuff like that now. So I don't think the discs necessarily have to catch up that quick because there is a huge streaming consumer base out there.
Does everybody even
Okay.
have cable in their house right now?
No, I don't.
I don't even have cable.
No,
dude. Like
I
I
don't.
watch everything. I
Yeah,
stream everything.
stream
Like,
everything.
like,
That's
For
true.
people in the
Cutter.
chat, like I don't stream that much, and I don't know why, but maybe I need to.
bro, like
that
I'm
shit
like
up.
I'm team digital all day, dude. Like
Yeah.
Me
It'll
too.
change your life.
less physical media for me. Like it's nice to have like if there I'll buy like a steel book or like a collector's edition, things like that. But if I'm just buying a game for the game or a movie, I'm going digital, man.
No, I'm not
I
talking
don't
about
need
games.
that.
I'm talking about just like your cable provider.
Yeah, okay. Well, even my cable provider. I mean, I
Yeah.
stream. I use Hulu. I'll use whatever
Whoever
means I need to.
whoever has whatever cable provider starts doing 4K is the shit. They're gonna make that money. But right now, I think everyone's getting like 1080p, and and I'm wiring this shit from my cable box to my Xbox One. I'm still getting 1080p. As soon as we can start getting 4K, that's when those TVs will start going
We're
selling
all
like crazy.
we're all talking about 4K, and to me, the 4K is secondary to the real game changer, in my opinion, is HDR.
Nice.
The HDR is what's making these newer images that are coming out that everyone's freaking out over. These rich colors, these rich displays. It's the HDR that's making it pop to me. Like if I look at just a 1080p versus a 4K, I mean, yeah, the image is a little clearer, but I don't think the jump from standard definition to 1080. I mean, I don't think the jump from 1080 to 4K is as drastic as it was from standard definition, VHS, what have you, to a Blu-ray. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that jump was bigger to me, and I think HDR is the bigger factor here. I mean,
Well, who's
everybody's
using HDR right now for movies? I mean, again, I don't buy disc or anything like that, but like, are they coming with HDR implemented in the disc, or is that something that's coming from the
Yeah, I'm
TV?
not sure. I don't know if that's even.
It's-
I think that's even less adopted right now than 4K.
Well, I mean, cameras and like regular like point and shoot cameras, HDR's
Yeah.
like been around for quite a while. It's moving its
Yeah.
way into TV and stuff like now. And I do think that's the better of the two. But honestly, like when we're down to the end of the day, like I don't really care about resolution. HDR is a nice feature, but I want bigger, better games. I could care less
Yes.
about either of the other two.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Bingo.
agree, bro. That was
Bingo.
well played, sir.
All right. So I mean, we went on that topic for a minute, so let's go
Yeah.
ahead and move on, everybody. Yeah,
That was
let's go ahead.
awesome, though. There was a lot of
Yeah.
different viewpoints there. That was a good discussion, man.
Awesome. Great topic, man. Great topic. So, all right. So I got another one here now. The Titanfall 2 beta, the second week of the beta, or tech test. I don't want to call it a beta, whatever it is. It's essentially a beta. Is out this week. So I want to get you guys' opinions on if you feel like it's better or worse after the tweaks that Respawn made. I don't know who's actually on the panel played it thus far. We're gonna go ahead and start with our special guest, Spaghetti. Have you gotten a chance to play the tech test this week? And does it feel better to you or worse or?
Yeah, I played a bunch of the tech tests, mainly today. It's slightly faster, but still, it has the issue with people camping. Like, you didn't have that in the first Titanfall. People are camping everywhere. You will see people with, like, 12 kills and 2 deaths or something because they're, like, freaking all around on the outskirts of the map camping. And the pilot versus pilot isn't very good. It's pretty much COD, but I do like the bounty and the grappling hook. If those are the two things I would take away from Titanfall 2, it would be the grappling hook and bounty are pretty good game modes. But I don't like how the grappling hook is set to one pilot base. I think that the grappling hook should be for every character pretty much, or you can customize it to add to each character to suit your needs.
Yeah.
But I hate that it's limited.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I don't know about anybody else, but while I was playing, I know GKB or Fred, somebody probably mentioned this. I feel like the maps are a lot less busy. Like I was especially doing like pilot versus pilot without the Titans. I was running around last night playing pilot versus pilot once I got home, and it was like desolate. There was parts of there was like whole bases I was doing laps around. I'm like, where the hell is everybody at? Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, so that's one of the things I did notice. But let's go ahead and get your opinion, GKB. I don't know if you played it recently or yesterday or today, but how do you feel about Titanfall 2 after they've made some of those tweaks that they were talking about?
Now, Blam, I know your show is really tight about that hour. I don't think we got enough time for me to discuss Titanfall 2. But I'll touch on a few things, man. Yeah, like Titanfall. I had a good debate with a couple people on Twitter today, and the biggest problem with me is Titanfall. Titanfall 1 was a great, unique game. It took what I loved about it is it got rid of the camping because of the AI pilots. They were all over the place. You either get shot by them and you had to watch out, or you could hide in them and all this kind of stuff. But in Titanfall 2, it's bigger maps. They made it more campy with you can hide in all kinds of places. It seems like the AI is all on the outskirts of the maps, which is a weird thing. They kind of like want to force you in the middle kind of thing. To do whatever. The rodeos is junk. I hate the rodeo now. You jump on, throw a grenade on it, have to get pushed off. So you're already at a disadvantage with Titans as a pilot, so why would they kick you off? I have no idea. Yeah, they updated some of the movement speeds and stuff, but it still feels like shit. I'm going to be brutally honest, and it pains me to say all this stuff because I am a huge Titanfall fan, and I really wanted so much more from this game. And I'm going to reiterate what I said on the Crossfire and Xbox Nation and everything else is I really want them to come out and say, hey, you know what, we screwed up with the game, we apologize, and we're going to put it off till next year and fix a lot of the stuff that everybody is complaining about.
I don't think EA is going to have that, brother. But you putting that shit out now. What you talking about? Okay, good. Great opinion. So what about you, Fred? How you feeling? I don't know if you got a chance to play it this weekend yet.
I fired it up and I got into like a shitty server and people were glitching all over the screen, so I did not finish that game. I just jumped out. I really couldn't play it, and I don't know if it was. I don't even know how to say this. Original Titanfall never had that issue. I jumped into a server and it was perfect, and it worked great. This one, just that day, whatever map I got into with whoever I was playing with, it was just glitchy as hell. And GKB was saying, like, there's certain things that put you at a disadvantage. Like when you do the rodeo, it shoots you off. When you shoot out of your Titan, this is something I've been begging them to fix. When you eject from your Titan, stop shooting me straight up in the air to make me a fucking target. Shoot me out to the ground, like away, And every match I've played, if I had to shoot out of my Titan because I was getting destroyed, I got killed as a pilot, just sitting up in the air, just floating. Down to the heavens,
Yeah, and while you're going up, you're stuck in animation. You can't.
Yeah, you're stuck in the air. You can't do shit, So give me at least the option to decide which direction I want to shoot out of my Titan. If I want to shoot out, like face front, or shoot straight up in the air.
I think a cool mechanic would be to be able to utilize your boost, but downwards, so almost like a ground pound type style, to where accelerate.
Oh my god!
Drop.
I kept trying to do that so many times in the game when I was playing. I've been playing Halo a lot. Yeah, you're right. That'd be give us a different mechanic like that to give us a little bit of defense when you get pulled out of your Titan. Even if the Titan pulls me out with his hand and throws me, that would be better than what I'm getting right now. But as far as and going back again, I have not played Tech Test 2, but in Tech Test 1, my biggest complaints was the game just felt slow, and it looked, like you said, desolate. It was there's nothing going on the maps, and maybe that's because, again, it's a tech test, and we don't know what the final product's going to be, but I don't know if it's because maybe they're not using the Azure servers to its full potential this time, or what the issue is, but it just seems like it's missing something. I don't know exactly what it is. Besides the speed of the game, there's something else missing from the game. And I said this on Console Corner last week. I'm not getting this now. It's not a day one buy for me anymore.
Yeah. You know what? The funny thing is, talking to my wife last night, and she was watching me play, and like I said before, when the tech test first came out, I said this last week. She texted me at work and was like, "Babe, something's wrong with Titanfall." And she's more of a casual player. So for her to notice something that was different, about the game. I was like, "What do you mean something's wrong with it?" She was like, "It just feels different. Like it's slower. Like it doesn't feel the same." So I mean, coming from like I said, a casual gamer like herself, that was kind of trying. I definitely had to run home and test it out for myself. And I mean, like I said before, a lot of us Xbox gamers, we have something to compare it to directly.
Yeah.
As far as Titanfall 1. So we can make a direct comparison between the two. So, most 99% of us, or I don't want to speak for everybody, but a lot of us, are feeling that there is something missing from this game. We may not be able to pinpoint that, but there's definitely a difference. A lot of it's usually like movement or movement speed and the way things work. But there's definitely something different about this game.
Hey,
So, what about you? Go
real
ahead,
quick,
GKB.
Blam. On like Xbox Nation and Crossfire, we touched on it too. I made this point. Like, we were talking about them bringing like a player base in and testing the game and all that kind of stuff. And I made the point of, what if they brought in like Sony players in to test the game? Because technically they didn't get the chance to play it on the Xbox One like a lot of us. So they're trying to appeal to another platform and stuff like that. So what if they came in and was like, all the stuff they changed in the game is like what they didn't like about the game, and where the Xbox fans is what we enjoyed about the game. I thought it was a really interesting thing that we were talking about there. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it could be something there. I don't know what kind of whoever they bought in. They obviously a game like this, they have people come in and play test it before we get an opportunity. I don't know who they brought in or if that was actually done, but that's a very very interesting take because it's that if they didn't get a chance to play the game, if they didn't own it, if they didn't own an Xbox, then but they could have taken direct feedback like, oh, I don't really like that mechanic, or that's a possibility. I'm not sure how anybody else feels about it,
Yeah.
but
Nah,
Well,
well,
go ahead.
when GKB joined us on Crossfire, I definitely agreed with him. I was like, that is a very strong possibility. Now here's the thing: if that's the case, Respawn has sold Titanfall's soul. All right, just to go multi-plat has sold
Oh
Titanfall's
man.
soul. But I have an answer. I have an answer to this. September 8th, Halo 5 drops more content. That's all I gotta say.
True.
good
I'll say
shit.
this, and someone finish this sentence for me. If it ain't broke,
Don't
Don't
fix
fix it.
Don't fix it.
no problem.
So,
There was nothing wrong with the game originally, other than the fact that it didn't have a story mode. They put that in the game, a single player, campaign. But the multiplayer was smooth. It worked. We liked it. Everyone loved it. We touted it. We praised it, and it was
See,
fine. And there was some like you could have tweaked a few things, but if you're gonna fix something, make it better. Don't make it worse than what you already have. And that's what they've done. They've made it something that us Xbox gamers don't want now. And the PlayStation guys are like, oh, we got Titanfall now, but it's not the Titanfall that we had. So
Yo, Pred, I think the thing is partly what GKB said. Like I said, I strongly feel like they did something like that. It would make sense as a business to test it out from a
Right.
new platform that you haven't been on yet. But I also think people are kind of going like past the fact that with them using these three different types of servers, right?
yeah.
You don't have that one set of dedicated servers to possibly do the cloud compute when it came to the AIs and stuff like that. So you have to write that into the game. I don't care if they say they got cloud compute over here or over there or whatever. Like you're splitting it between three different server sets. Like there's no way that if you're not using that one dedicated server set that you're using cloud compute on a level that the original Titanfall was doing it. So therefore you have game memory, the writing being used up for the AI and stuff like that. And I feel like they had some technical obstacles that they would have to like kind of hurdle over to make it like the original.
That makes sense. It makes sense. They're using, I think, was it game networks or something like that. I remember seeing a link. They're using there, which is like a combination of Azure and a couple other company servers. So
See,
there's
Azure,
definitely some
Amazon,
technical aspects.
and somebody else, man.
Somebody else's, yeah. So there's a few different companies that they're actually using. So that's a really really good point. But Brutal, let's go ahead and get your opinion, brother. Did you get a chance to play it this
Yeah,
weekend?
man. Yeah. Um, I've always been I've been in a lot of like beta testing and a lot more on PC than on Xbox, but or on console in general. And one thing that I've always wondered is I would like to see them like let's just use Titanfall since that's what we're talking about. I'd like to see what the response would have been for the second tech test had they not released the patch notes to give because I feel like when you release those patch notes, it gives everybody this pre-notation that this predetermined like response, like everyone's looking for the wall running to be faster. And I mean that was kind of like the main complaint, right? That the game just was slowed down. Aside from the mechanics of some things, the utility of some of the characters or whatnot. Do you think people would have the people that are saying that it does feel faster or that it doesn't feel faster? Do you think those opinions would have changed if they had not released those patch notes to have somebody to give people these predetermined or these predisposed like opinions before they played the game? Like they're going in knowing that it was quote unquote made faster. And I do think that the wall running does feel a little faster than the last game. I am on the same page with you guys. It feels slightly less fluid. But with that being said, if you were using that grappling hook, which Chick and I completely agree, man, that should be like a perk that you can apply to any Titan as that you can equip in place of a grenade or whatever. Using the grappling hook, if you use it actively and you're consciously trying to use a grappling hook, that does add a certain degree of fluidity to the game that some people are saying that it might be missing. Overall, the game feels better. I'm probably still going to buy Titanfall 2. I don't know if I'm going to buy it day one, per se. But I also don't know if I'm going to be waiting until the Access Vault. Shout out Jay Williams for that shirt. That was funny as fuck.
Oh my god, it was funny.
Yeah, it was good, right? I like it, man. I like the game not as much as Titanfall 1, and I'm sad to say that because like GKB, I mean GKB and I have been playing Titanfall all through since Titanfall 1 came out. There's been a few people that we've continuously played Titanfall throughout the time span between 1 and 2. So I'm sad, and I'm probably gonna buy it just because I want it to be good, and I want to experience it, and I definitely want to experience the campaign. A lot of people have been asking for that, and it's sad to see that it might not get the recognition it gets now because they didn't produce on the multiplayer side of things.
Well, it's sandwiched in between a bunch of other shooters too. That's not helping it. I really wish they did the game. I really wish they just. If this game was coming out in March, I don't think I'd have any problems with making it a day one purchase. Even with the issues that I'm having with the game right now, I think I would still purchase it day one if it came out in March. But since it's coming out sandwiched between Gears and Battlefield, Call of Duty, Record, like I got so much other shit to pay for right now. You know, it's like maybe, and if they're listening, you know, just push it back. It's okay.
You know what the sad thing is, man? Like when sales come back, when the initial numbers come back when this game launches, I feel like it may be skewed as far as their original player base's satisfaction, because they're gonna have a whole new iteration with the PlayStation side that's gonna boost those sales.
Yeah.
And that's an entire side of the game that a lot of people, like especially the diehard PlayStation people, they don't have anything to judge it against. Like there's no status quo for them. So I think that it's gonna potentially give them a false idea, aside from people screaming this shit fucking sucks. Like it's gonna give them like a false feedback on as far as the game's success. You know what I mean? And I'd hate to see it like eventually get to the point where like the game just falls away, because it's such a good premise, you know?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's EA too. So as long as it does numbers, EA is fine. Like I don't think they give too much of a shit about those smaller things. You know, as falls under the umbrella, we making money. Okay, we good then. Okay, so I think they're all right. But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Now, this is something that I've kind of been thinking about. With the Xbox One, we get so many different updates. Being preview members, most of us here, if not all of us, here on the panel, are in the preview program, and we get a lot of updates, a lot of the new features early. But I know we had background music. That was big. We got that now. Is anything coming down the pipeline? What are you guys thinking? What would be the next? There's so much shit that this box can do already. But what do you guys think that the next big, preview feature would be for members? Like, is there anything else possibly that we need this box to do at this point? So I'm gonna go ahead and start with you again, Spaghetti. As far as there's another feature or anything that you'd like to see them also add as far as to the like features of the actual Xbox.
Okay, well, one feature I would like the most is family share. Make it native instead of having to do like go to YouTube and watch somebody how to fix up your Xbox to do family share with somebody. I want it to be done natively where it's easy. You can just go to the menu and just click, I want to share with this person. That's probably my number one. And my number two is I want to see some more of these universal apps. Like I would love to see Spotify hit the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Maybe even Amazon. I don't know if Amazon Music is on there, but Amazon Music. I think that's about it. Just family share and just more universal apps.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Good point. Good point. What about you, GKB? Think, man. What do you think's on the horizon, man? What else can this box do, brother?
Man, I'm really excited about the clubs and the tournament stuff that's coming down the pipe. That's the stuff I'm really interested in. As far as like the preview program and getting some other stuff after that, I'm on the side of we're probably going to see less of that coming down. I think probably like twice a year you're going to see like these big features come out and then little iterations as we go along. Now, like before when the preview was like in its infancy, we'd get a lot of stuff coming out, but as it's been going by, it's slowly slowing down a little bit. So. Man, I don't know, man. The sky's the limit, honestly, at this point. Like, they have the backing of Microsoft and all that kind of stuff, man, so we could see a ton of really cool stuff coming down. But the clubs and everything is the stuff I'm really interested in.
Yeah, those clubs, I think we kind of forgot about those. We haven't spoken on those very much, but those is definitely some interesting news coming out of E3 when Mikey Barr got on stage and announced some of those cool features. That's just doing more. I mean, it's known as the multiplayer multiplayer box. You think multiplayer, you think Xbox, man. So
it's all about community too, man. And that's
community. Yeah, that's another thing too. So more bringing people together, man. That's right. Huge for Xbox. So what about you, Xbox? What do you think, man? Anything you'd like to see come to the preview program, maybe down the line at some point?
Well, I'll definitely agree with GKB, like the whole having the arena, the groups thing. I know there's a few groups that I do want to start up and stuff like that and get rolling, so I'm really excited about that. The thing I really would like to see, which I don't think is going to happen now since Microsoft acquired Beam, would be direct live streaming to YouTube. I would really like to do that. I love catering to my subscribers, making sure they don't have to like jump here, there, or whatever, which is why I kind of have my name the same kind of across the board. I'm easy to find and stuff like that, and I would love just to have that simplicity to be able to just pick up the controller and stream to my channel, where my subscribers really go. They really, check out my content over there and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Microsoft
I believe that.
Friends right now.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation can actually directly stream to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
it can. It can happen. So, yeah. PlayStation has had it. I've been waiting. I've been trying to wait patiently. And then I saw what happened with Microsoft and Beam. I was like, you know what? That's Microsoft's answer, kind of like a big, I don't know, pardon my French here, but a big, like, kind of fuck you to Google. Like, we don't even need you right now type thing. We'll just do it over here with our own Beam app. And, like, I can definitely see that happening. Which
to touch... Sorry,
no, it's all good.
To touch on Beam real quick, I don't know if you guys got to see it, but the developers for Beam, they have this weekly podcast that they do to tell you what new features and stuff coming on, and they were all dressed in like Xbox attire. And
no, they should be dressed in Xbox attire. You were right.
I'm tired, man. I've been all day today. But they were wearing Xbox attire and Microsoft attire, and they alluded to a lot of esports and the Xbox at coming. They didn't officially say anything, but they said, we hear you. There's a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe. We can't talk about it right now, but in PR speak, that means it's coming. So that's going to be really awesome. If Microsoft pushes that esports to them, I mean, that's going to be a nice leg up for them and push that further. So.
Definitely. There's some huge potential there. Microsoft knows what it's doing when it's acquiring these companies. They don't pay that good coin for nothing. So for sure. So what about you, Pred? What do you think, or what would you like to see? Maybe a feature. It doesn't necessarily have to be a feature coming down the pipeline for like preview program and preview members.
I'm gonna piggyback on what Chicken said about family sharing, because like I already have 2 Xboxes, and I would love to be able to get a third for my other daughter and not have to pay another fucking subscription fee for Xbox Live. Or at least be able to at least share with more than just 2 consoles, maybe add a third. That would be great. I mean, like, it'd be cheap for me, but obviously they're not going to make any money off of that. But I agree with Chicken said that. I mean, that's a good feature to have. As far as streaming and Beam and that kind of stuff, I think there's got a lot of stuff down the pipe. Does anybody, just off the top, know like how much it costs for them to acquire Beam?
I haven't looked.
I never even thought about it until I heard you talk about Google and stuff like that. So
they got them on the ground floor. I don't think they paid like they did
a crazy amount.
Yeah, it's like a small company,
Yeah.
I don't need that much for it, and for what they're getting out of it, what they potentially can get out of it, will rival. It ain't gonna beat YouTube, it ain't gonna beat Twitch, but like it's something better than what they would have.
Be a good alternative.
Yeah, because I mean, had they had to pay for it, like pay for that with Google and all them, I mean, no telling how much they would have had to pay out of pocket for those major companies to do something like that.
The Xbox brand too is fully behind Beam. They moved them out to Seattle and everything, man. They have new digs and everything now. So sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, definitely. And also too, you got to look at Beam as it kind of can fit its own niche too, because it's not just streaming. It has this interactive feature that that Twitch and YouTube don't have.
And that low latency, bro.
Yeah, and that low latency is huge. I mean, that's big for streamers. That's a huge draw. Maybe they'll be able to get some other streamers, some of the other big streamers from other companies, not companies, but that usually use Twitch or YouTube. Maybe they'll be able to get them to come over, test it out, maybe even endorse Beam at some point. So.
But other than that, man, I really don't know what else they can do. I mean, we've got pretty much every feature that we had out of the 360 we have now on this. Finally coming. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, it surprised me, Microsoft. I mean, show me.
All right, Brutal. I know I ain't got to you yet, brother. Any feature possibly you'd like to see coming down the pipeline?
Dude, there's one thing that I've been waiting that I want, and it's not really a huge thing, but it's something that I've found myself in the situation where I've found a need or a use for it. I would love to have full game management on a mobile platform, like either via the Smart Glass app or like I want to be able to download, remove games from my hard drive, and that's really it. Is like if I'm out and a lot of the times when games launch, I'm out at I'm at work or I'm doing something during the week, and I would like to be able to download the game and get it all running. So when I get home, it's ready to go. You know what I mean? Or pull games because I don't have an external hooked up to my Xbox right now, so I have limited storage space, and I would like to be able to manage my games outside of my home. That's the one thing that I don't feel like it would be that difficult to do. And it's like I said, it's a small addition, but it's something that I found that would probably be useful.
That'd be pretty fresh.
Removing games would definitely be awesome, but I think you could start up downloads and stuff like
Smart
that.
Glass.
Already.
Yeah, but if you have to delete something to add something, like I see what Brutal's saying, like if you have to.
No, that makes absolute sense. That would be an incredible feature right there.
Yeah, you can download games from Smart. You can buy your games on Smart Glass.
Yeah, I know you can buy them, but can you initiate the download?
It'll start downloading. It'll start your home console.
Yeah. If you have it set, what is it? If you have it set to always on,
I guess the reason I'm finding that an issue with mine is because, like I said, I have limited storage space.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
being able to remove the game to get the download.
Well, brutal. Do you have your console to shut off completely when you hit power, or do you have it as that instant on with the instant on functionality on?
Oh shit! I muted myself on accident.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I got
Crickets.
No, I have it set as instant on. Yeah.
Oh, you have it set. All right. So yeah,
It won't download if you don't have any space.
That feature that you said was being able to remove games from your hard drive and stuff. That would be absolutely amazing.
Somebody donate an external hard drive to Brutal, please.
They're so cheap, bro. I just I don't know, dude. Like I'm trying to like get all like my I'm trying to get cameras and lighting and shit because like I'm trying to like get my like, actual like.
Hey.
Yo, bro, that's a whole podcast. That starts after game time.
Nah,
bro.
Brutal uses. He likes that gritty look. He goes with the VHS on the porn.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you know, fucking gritty VHS. Fucking 70s.
Yeah.
The 70s mustache and everything. Yeah.
all right. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to this next topic here, man. We got a good one here, and this is one. Like I said, I like to throw fun topics at the panel here. Everybody knows it. A lot of us, as we go throughout the week, we kind of, I want to say regurgitate. We talk about a lot of the same things going on in gaming. So I like to throw a little wrinkle in it every once in a while and kind of come up with my own question. So the question that I have for the chat also and the panel is that what's the worst launch of a video game ever? Now there's some guidelines here, okay? Now I admit I was thinking about No Man's Sky when I developed this question. So I
just took all of our answers.
Yeah, probably. Okay. But so I'm thinking of maybe it'd be misinformation, the game be unplayable or broken, or it just comes out it was dressed like a woman, it ended up being a man. That just is not what it was when they said.
I hate when that
they said it was. Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we'll start with you, Spaghetti, since you're the special guest, man. What's the worst that you've experienced or that you know of, like the worst launch of a video game for you personally?
Oh God, I'm not sure what to say right now. Come back to me. I'll see if I can figure one.
Okay, all right, you formulate your opinion. You know what? I go with Brutal because I feel like Brutal has a lot to say about this. I don't have a crystal ball, but I feel like he's gonna tell me something here. Go ahead, Brutal.
I got all right. There's two that come like right off the bat. There's two that come to my mind. The second I saw this question, there's two that immediately popped in my head, and I think Xbot might be sharing the same idea with me, but I'm not sure. All right, the first one, Assassin's Creed Unity, was exceedingly fucking disappointing because that was the first one that they were marketing this multiplayer play with your friends feature, right? Like where you could do missions together, whatever, what have you. And that shit was broken as fuck. Like, that shit was more broke than me not being able to buy a fucking hard drive right now. Like, that shit was so fucking broken, dude. Like, characters floating, shit falling through, games crashing. Like, not
only that, but the multiplayer was segmented off. Like, they made you think that you could go through the story multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like these small missions you could do. So that was a little disappointing. But the one that really pissed me off because I was so excited to play it and see it was Master Chief Collection was the biggest fucking flaming ball of shit I've ever seen, bro.
I knew you were gonna bring that up. Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Like in recent memory, man, like that's probably like the biggest fuck up was Master Chief Collection's.
What are you talking about? It's fixed now.
Bro. No, I'm saying the initial launch, bro. But yeah, like now that nobody's fucking playing it, like, that game was such a cool idea to have all the games together, and like I really enjoyed.
It was ambitious. I think it was over ambitious.
It could, you're very, you're.
Well, not only that, they had two studios working on it. There's like a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's go. Let's roll to you, Governor. Let's see what you got to say about it, man. What's in your opinion, man? Worst video game launch, brother, for you personally?
For me personally, I would have to pretty much go with what Brutal said. I would say Assassin's Creed Unity. To date ever, though, is definitely No Man's Sky. But for me, it's Assassin's Creed Unity. I thought like Master Chief Collection. I mean, yeah, it was broken and all that stuff, but what they were trying to accomplish, I think, was awesome. And it definitely was not broken like 6 months to a year after. It was literally like a month,
No,
maybe
it still
two.
took forever, man. It didn't take
took forever.
forever plus 10. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Unity was just broke on every freaking platform. Like it just wouldn't work on anything. PC, PS4, whatever you were playing on, it was just broken. So yeah, that was mine.
Okay. All right. What about you, Xbot? What you got, brother?
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna take you back to the 360 era, and I want to see how many people know this game. Like, I'm not saying this because it was broken. I'm saying this because it just turned out to be a horrible game that had potential. Clive Barker's Jericho. I was
I
hyped
remember that game.
for that game. Absolutely hyped. Put it in my 360, and it was absolute dog shit. Oh my good! I had no idea how Clive Barker could put his name on this thing. Like I'm a big, I like horror movies. I like sci-fi. I like supernatural, and I like horror movies. All right, so to see Clive Barker's name on something, I was like, yo, this is gonna be good. And it was probably the most disappointing experience. Now, when it comes to what everybody's saying with Master Chief Collection, the multiplayer, you're right. The servers, there was issues. It took time to jump from Halo 4 to like Halo 3 maps and stuff like that. But at least the single player was there. And with the single player, you had Halos 1 through 4 on one console. And that would be the main reason why I wouldn't put that at the #1 spot for this subject.
I will say though, man, like during that single player, it was so cool that they put in the feature where you could just hot swap between like the original and then like
That's
the
the best
Oh
remastered.
my goodness, that
It was mind blowing seeing the advances that they came out with. From,
Oh,
like,
dude, Halo 2, the way they did
Yes.
Halo 2 with the anniversary, absolutely amazing.
Dude,
The
when they brought in
cutscenes.
the arbiter scene where they're walking the arbiter in, for his trial or
You
whatever.
get chills, man.
Oh my
Dude,
goodness.
like the lighting.
That was
the-
Blur. Didn't Blur do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, Blur did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. They crushed it. It was such a cool feature, and I think it really opened a lot of people's eyes. Like it did for me. Like everyone sees a remaster, like wow, it looks so much better. But when you can hot swap between it, and you can really see like a specific example, like the lighting and whatnot.
Wait till you see what they do with Halo 3 Anniversary coming out with at the same time as Scorpio.
2018.
4K native resolution, HDR, 60 frames per second, all that. It's a no-brainer. I'm gonna keep saying, you
All right,
guys,
we'll see,
you're gonna
brother.
get used to
Hey,
this, man.
we'll see. Yeah.
He'll take care of it.
All right,
Xbox
Fred.
loves his Halo.
All right, Fred, it's on you. Then I'm gonna go to Spaghetti, man. Spaghetti, hope you got your answer ready, brother. You got some time now, man, to think about it. But
At least
what
you
about
didn't get
Fred?
the Mount Rushmore question, man.
Oh yeah, that was tough.
I love that question, bro. That was such a
Dude,
good
but I was the
That's a good
first one.
question.
I'm like, let me.
All right,
I'm gonna
Fred.
throw a
what about-
twist in this question because I everyone took my games already. So
Oh, you're gonna say Jericho as well?
and no, I wasn't gonna say Jericho. I was like, what game is that again? I remember the name, but I don't remember the game. That rhymed actually. So my first, I got two now, so bear with me. The first one is the Xbox 360, not a game. It's a fucking sick. Not sorry, not the Xbox One, not a game, but a system that had the worst launch ever for console. And the make it even worse, we had the DDoS attacks in December when everybody got their system. People who actually bought their system could not even get on fucking line. So it was broken. I want to say it was broken at launch because it was already overpriced. It was from the competitor. They gave us a freaking connect with it. They told us that we had to use it, which we don't even use anymore. And then when people actually decided to buy it for Christmas, they couldn't even use it online. So that's number one. My second one is a game that hasn't even released yet. And when it finally does release, it's going to have the worst launch, and it's going to be Fable 4 because, or whatever Fable it's going to be, because they had the Fable Legends out. People are playing the game. People are all hyped up for this game, and it finally goes to beta. Actually, never went to beta, but we finally
Yeah.
get this game, and people are playing it. People are starting to get hyped up for it a little bit, and then they cancel the game. So that's just going to screw it up from when they actually decide to actually release the game, because it's going to be either the same game or a shell of the game itself. So
Yeah.
I think that game, when if it even is in development, I think it's going to have like a negative stigma to it when it comes out.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good point. Good point. All right, Spaghetti. Time is up, brother. It is your
I try to
turn,
stall
man.
for
man.
you, Spaghetti,
Yeah, try
man.
to
You gotta have an
stall,
answer
man.
now.
I
I
ain't having
appreciate it. I
that.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I ain't having that. We got a solid 60 minutes, brother. All right, go ahead, Spaghetti. What about you, man?
All right, so one game that was it didn't live up to what it was initially was Elite Dangerous when they first hit the preview program. It's much like No Man's Sky, and it's very much based off of our own universe, our own galaxy we live in, and it has a bunch of NASA research that stands behind it. Very, very good. It's very, very good now, but when it initially launched, they showed off well, like dog fighting, and you can ride in wings, which wings, I don't think wings existed at that time, at such detail in the planets. Um, but none of that existed on the Xbox One version of the game. It only existed on the PC version of the game, which was in early access too at the same time. So that's one of the big ones. I mean, I still played it. Like the planets, like you can go to our solar system, Sol, and you can go see Earth and Saturn and Jupiter and fly around the rings. But none of that detail was there that you needed to actually believe that you were there, like it was in a PC version, or like we seen in the demos that they actually showed before it hit the preview program. And I'm a big preview program buff. I love preview program games. So yeah, that was one of the big ones. I know you guys were expecting me to say We Happy Few, but I love We Happy Few, so I
I
won't
do
be
too,
saying that.
chicken. I'm with you, brother.
All
Chicken, let
right.
me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cause I've been thinking about getting this game, the Elite Dangerous. Has it improved since since it's been out
Oh man, I
on
had it day
on the
one
Xbox
last
One?
year, and it's improved a bunch. And if you do get it, I would suggest you get it with the Horizons expansion pack. I mean, it is the learning curve is freaking insane. It's probably gonna take you days or weeks to learn how to actually play the game pretty good. So if you have a lot of time to put into a game, I would suggest you get this Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's one thing I did. I couldn't even fly the plane for like 3 days. I tried it 3 days in a row, and I couldn't even. I could barely move my spacecraft. I was having trouble with. The learning curve is steep, man. I'm dead ass serious, man. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and answer my own question. As far as what's a botch, besides the obvious No Man's Sky, who hits all the, 5 points of a bad release, that hits all 5 points. No Man's Sky. What else? What else was there? Unity, right off the top of my head, was fucking horrible. That was a smack in the face to Assassin's Creed fans. I mean, they could have just took a shit in a box and gave it to everybody. It was the same thing.
As long as it had
But
a hood.
as long as it had a hood on it, yeah, they could
Yeah.
have put a hood on doo doo and do the same exact thing. So, that was probably Battlefield 4 actually was really bad too.
Yeah, I thought
When
about
it
that
first
too.
that game, you couldn't get into a match.
Couldn't even
I could go
save your
take a
game.
yeah, it couldn't save your game, losing progress, take you forever. A lot of the servers were shit. It was just so bad all around. Multiplayer wasn't that great. It took you forever to actually get in, and then try and get in with like your squad. Psh, yeah, right. Good luck with that. Maybe one out of the four you guys would get in. So it was pretty bad. So that was one of the worst ones I can remember from launch also too with Battlefield. So looks like what do we have coming up? Okay, looks like we're gonna go ahead and take just a couple questions, maybe two or three questions if we have time here. You guys know how I like to do it. Keep it close to an hour as possible. I know there was some questions earlier, and I think I may have skipped past them here in the chat.
Fox
I
had a
know
good one.
Fox had a good one. I saw that. So if anybody is still here in the chat, make sure you throw your questions in right now. We're gonna take a couple. I'll pose them to the panel before we head out. By the way, GKB, let everybody know what's going on with the games community night while I'm looking for some questions here.
Yeah, sure. Tonight, right after the shop podcast, we'll be starting a party and getting everybody to play Halo tonight. It's gonna be awesome. I know Xbox excited.
Yeah, but dude, I usually have a cigarette after the podcast. By the time I get in, you guys are full. So,
I'll have to save you a spot, bro. I'll save you a spot.
all right, appreciate it, man.
For sure, for sure. What was it? If Fox, if you're still here, I don't know if she's still here. Can you?
She said, "Are you guys looking forward to the PS4 Neo reveal?"
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Is that what we're supposed to? Well, I know they haven't came out and stated it, but they're supposed to be speaking here pretty soon, like early September, like the 7th or 8th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anybody want to answer that question? I mean, it's up for grabs.
I'm interested to see the price of it, and I want to see
Dude,
what they're
$499 or higher. They can't go less than $499. I don't with the specs that it is now. Like, another thing is, I'm interested to see if you're gonna do an upgraded console. I'm interested to see this about Scorpio too. These are supposed to be like the next, I guess, big step as far as like hardware and what they can do. I'm interested to see like the hard drive size, what they're gonna put in these. They're gonna give everybody like stock 2 terabytes right off the rip. They're gonna have to, right?
I would say they have to, yeah, at that point.
You have to. If it's a premium console, so I'm interested to see, because that's gonna determine the price of the console too. That hard drive size. You give everybody 2 terabytes. I don't see anything less than $500 at least.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about the price on the Neo. I think it's probably going to be more about like 400 and 450.
450, you think?
Yeah, I mean, because they're just using an overclocked Jaguar. They're not using any new CPU and stuff like that. They are using a little bit of beefier GPU and stuff like that. But I think the cost is going to be a little bit lower. So I'm thinking 450 at the max.
450.
But as far as like seeing the Slim being revealed and the Neo possibly and all that kind of stuff, I think that's cool. I know Brutal likes tech. I like tech. So seeing new stuff is always cool. Get to talk about it and all that kind of cool stuff.
Like regardless if I'm gonna buy if I'm gonna buy a Neo or not, like I enjoy seeing what people come out with tech either way. Like, so I'm just interested to see. I'm interested to see the end of like this speculation between these two consoles, man. I just want it to be in concrete so we can stop all this bullshit back and forth, bro. Like I'm like
Brutal was fed up, everybody.
I'm so fucking tired of just seeing like, oh, it's gonna be this. Oh no, it's gonna be this. Like, there's fucking people posting on NeoGAF. There's gonna be a fucking $600 version, like a 7 fucking whatever teraflops. Flop whatever the fuck you want, dude. Just like bring it out already and just play it, man. Like, I don't care about like. I like hardware from a tech standpoint. Like, I like seeing what people can innovate and bring to the table. But at the end, man, like, we're gamers and we want to play games regardless of like where they're at.
Bingo.
Man. Like,
preach.
Fucking the gaming community is here for entertainment. Games are for entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's
honestly,
I
like seeing the consoles like actually lower power, because I think the innovation with developers and stuff and building games, they really push their craft even further to do stuff with like less power. So
right.
Definitely.
I know.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
I know I'm looking at it for the same. I'm interested for the same aspect as GKB and Brutal. I am a tech guy. I love new tech. At the end of the day, we're all gamers. So to see something new coming out, definitely. But I also take it to another level because people who know me personally know that I am thirsty for knowledge 24/7. I study business. I study psychology. I study advertisement and stuff like that. And I want to see these people up on stage and see how they present themselves, see if they're confident with what they're showing and how they're showing it to their consumer base. And I want to see what is going to be BS. And you could tell a lot from body language, man. Stuff like that. And I'm interested in that as well because, like I said, I study a lot of different things.
I agree with you, man. Like, their messaging for like the PSVR, this Neo, the Slim, if they're all coming out like this holiday season, they have to have a really good message here, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, I want to see like, what this direction is they're gonna go in. You're saying they're releasing all these different consoles and stuff this year. I'm losing my train of thought right now. My cat's rubbing up against me. Sorry.
Is that a code word for something?
That's a strange distraction, sir.
That's a code word.
The eagle has landed.
All right.
I'm interested in the price. I'm interested in seeing what their innovation is going to be. Is it going to be something different? Is it going to bring something new to the table, or is this just going to be a box with a little bit more power, specifically just for VR?
I think
You know,
that's what it is, bro.
I think that's what it is,
Exactly
bro.
what it is,
They
man.
gotta. You know what? I don't want to cut you off. Sorry about that, but
No, go ahead.
a lot of people don't realize how much they're investing in this VR. Like I don't think people get how much Sony's actually how they went all in. They threw their hat in the ring when they
Yeah.
decided, okay, we're gonna make our own headset to go up against HTC Vive and those other Samsung Gear and the other options. Nobody else, as far as like Nintendo's not taking that step. Microsoft is still kind of up in the air. We're hearing rumbles, but I don't think they're going to throw everything in until they're going to wait for the chips to fall and then see where everybody lands before. I think they decide to do that. That's kind of why they partner with Oculus rather
Oh
than.
yeah, I was gonna say they're not gonna make their own
They're not going to make their own
headset.
heads. They're not going to do that. We're not taking that gamble. But I think people forget that Sony's really heavily. A lot of their assets are tied into this PSVR. And it just a lot of the money, a lot of the different things. I mean, hell, that could be a reason that they bumped up PSN $10. They got a lot of money tied up into this PSVR thing. So I just wanted to say that. But go ahead, Fred, finish your thought.
no. I mean, that was it. I mean, I just want to see. I think it was GKB or maybe it was Xbot that said something about innovation and stuff. And
Yeah.
are we really getting something innovative, or are we just getting another box with a little bit more power in it just to maintain VR? And that's what I'm interested in seeing from their reveals. Like, like when Xbox came out with the Slim, they added HDR, they added 4K upscaling, they added 4K streaming to this box. What is Sony gonna do? You're asking me for another $500-600, whatever the price is gonna be, for a console that to run VR. But what if I'm just a gamer that doesn't want VR? Like, what else are you putting in that box for me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Neo's like as from a hardware standpoint is probably going to deliver. I mean, the computing power, the power of the hardware. That's. I mean, I think that it's clear the Scorpio is probably going to have the upper hand on that side. But I think as far as like being innovative, I think that they're probably going to be fairly matched. The trigger word innovation for this generation, like there's going to be is 4K. I mean, the status quo has kind of been set now. I mean, we want to see 4K and we want to see clearly whether you like it or not, VR is moving into the market, so that's going to be
Yeah, but
what
for
I'm
how
looking
long?
for.
That's my question.
well,
How
yeah,
long will VR be in the market? Is this like a
mean,
2 year thing?
I guess
mean,
we'll have to wait
there's
and
another
see, man.
podcast there that makes, but
Yeah,
like,
that remains. That remains.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a question in a question. No, but yeah, seriously, that's a good topic. Good question, man. Good question. So good question, Foxfire. Shout out to you too. Let's see what else we got here.
Chicken,
She
you got
Wolf.
anything to
I
say
don't
on
want
that?
to miss. Huh?
Did you ask Chicken anything about that?
Chicken. Did you get in on that? Chicken. If you had
No,
any opinions, bro,
I
go
honestly
ahead.
don't have anything good to say about well, I'll take that back. I honestly do want to see what design cues they take with the Neo, if it's going to look like, if they're just forgetting about the original PS4 and just going to towards a unibody, because I believe the PS4 Slim is a unibody model. So I wonder if the Neo's going to do that, and I'm wondering if that will affect the price of the Neo, if they could get it under 500 because it's unibody. So that's all I really care about with the Neo. I don't even want to hear about the power of the Neo anymore or anything like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Good point. Good point. All right, so I think I'm gonna take one or two more questions. Got a good question here. Don't ever want to miss out on She-Wolf's question. What's up, lady? So yeah, like I always tell you guys, anybody decides on doing a YouTube channel or doing anything on YouTube as far as doing a podcast, talk to that lady right there. She is all of our unofficial secretary when it comes to this YouTube thing. She lets everybody know, keeps everybody updated on what podcasts are going to be, the schedule for the week, and we don't pay her. She should be paid, but we don't pay her yet. Hopefully that gets that changes sometime soon. But yeah, so she had a question. She said, what do you guys think about Harley Quinn in Injustice 2? I know it's kind of specific. I know Injustice 2 is one of them games, a multi-plat that's going to come out. I'm pretty sure some of us may have it, some of us may not. But what do you guys think about her being in Injustice 2? Anybody got any opinion on that?
Dude, I think it's awesome. Not only that, but she has both of her hyenas with her as well.
Yeah, man.
That's like true to form right there. You know, with the costume base, you can go more the traditional with the black and red suit, or you could go more with the present with the dyed hair and stuff like that. I mean, if you're DC, you got to roll with anything positive, and Harley Quinn was definitely something positive that came from the Suicide Squad movie, at least in general. So it's a good idea to have her in the game.
Okay.
Dude, like Harley Quinn is like one of the is hot. Like everybody wants like not like hot like that, but I mean like she's just like I mean everybody knows Harley Quinn. I mean she's such a marketable character. Yeah, she's a quintessential part of DC, and like some of her playstyle, dude, in that trailer looks fucking like brutal, man. Like I don't remember who she was like who. Do you guys remember who she was like fighting against in that Harley Quinn trailer, like the reveal trailer?
Blue Beetle?
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was Blue Beetle.
My point is like she pulls that hammer out, dude, and is just smashing people.
And
in
she
the
just
face
keeps
and
going,
laying on the
like,
ground, and she's just laughing. Like I think it's great, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited for Injustice 2.
I think that's the big thing there is like, I mean, Harley Quinn's awesome. She is a quintessential character in the DC universe, but having an Injustice 2 game, because Injustice 1 was a fantastic fighter.
Yeah.
Well, one of the great ones out there, and just having another one is just fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I may pick that up. I'm not exactly sure yet. Anybody? When does it come out? Is it this year or next year? We getting that this year or?
I don't know if it's this year. I want to say it's next year, but
I want to say it's next year too. I don't think they've really released too much information about it. Okay, cool. We can grab one more question out of the chat. We're gonna go ahead and wrap things up with one more question. Anybody, GKB, you see anything else in here that anybody may have asked? I know there was a couple questions here that I missed.
Chris asked if two aliens exist. All I have to say to that is yes, because Next Gen 720 told me so.
Shout out to Zaire, man, if he's watching, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
So, King James, shout out King James, man. He's always in here. Great follower of the stream. So it says, what are you guys most anticipated games of 2017? So I'm just gonna go around the panel real quick. Give me one game. You got to give me one. Just one game. Most anticipated game of next year. So we'll start out with you, Spaghetti, since you're the special guest, man. One game, brother.
Okay. I would have to go with Sea of Thieves.
Oh, good choice.
Man, that's just because I'm trying to think of whatever is coming out in 2017. God.
Man, he limited us, man. One game?
One.
I got a list I could say real quick.
You got one, bro. You got one. Yeah. All right. So, Sea of Thieves for you, Chicken, or is there any?
Yeah. Okay. I'll settle on that right now.
All right. Cool. What about you, Governor? One game, brother.
Since Chicken took Sea of Thieves, I'm gonna go with Scalebound. That's
God
gonna be
damn
one.
We don't talk about Scalebound much, man. Now that I think about it, I know it's kind of out of sight, out of mind right now.
Yeah, since it got pushed back, it's kind of.
I think it's coming in hot, man. Before you
Yeah,
know
it's
it,
gonna
Coming out between now and December to think about what's
Yeah,
coming
wait.
in March and April.
Yeah.
next year, so.
That's true. Good point. All right, Brutal, what you got, man? 2017, man.
God damn it, dude. This question's so hard. I have so many on my radar, man. Like, and to be honest, I'll probably like a lot of them. Like, there's a couple on PlayStation that I really want to play, man. But
Hey, man, whatever, man.
I
Whatever.
gotta say one, man. I'm really looking forward, because I wasn't sold on Sea of Thieves, but I am now, and I really want to play Sea of Thieves. But one that I'm really looking forward to, I'm really looking forward to Outlast 2. Like I really want to play
Good
Outlast 2, man. Like I love like that horror survival genre, and this game looks so fucking creepy. Like there's like a newer trailer that gameplay trailer they launched. The marketing for this game is makes.
I was sure you were gonna say that next Kojima game. We will not see that till 2027.
Yeah. That Kojima game has my interest. Like I know, granted, it's and GKB,
I think-
don't even start.
I'm gonna
bro.
lose my shit on you, bro.
Don't
Here,
fucking
man.
start. All I'm saying.
Lose my shit,
all
bro.
I'm saying,
Yo, if K Mega was here, he'd be like, man, ass. That's all he has to say.
dude. Like, I'm just like, I want to see what.
It's
the
just
fuck
Norman
that-
Reedus. That's the only like people are. Man,
It's
if he
just
wasn't,
so
if that
weird,
was,
man. It's just the premise of that trailer. Like,
Eccentric and
It's
fucking out of this
eccentric.
world. Like,
I know, man.
What-
It's
where was
probably
the video
gonna be a
game
turn-based
at?
game.
Where?
People
So
don't-
you guys are getting all hyped over a turn-based game.
Kojima walked out on the Sony stage with the Billie Jean lights underneath his feet. Like, if that's not
Dancing.
dude. Like with his point, like he just won a goddamn Indy 500. Like if that's not eccentric, then I don't know what is, man. He's talented, but Jesus Christ, man,
he's so
is he
overhyped. I'm
overrated?
sorry, I don't
He
really.
is so overrated, man.
Overrated.
And this is just for me being. I love Metal Gear. I love the first few Metal Gears, but he is. I mean, he gets more credit than actually what he deserves at this point. Like the new Kojima.
What about bro? Pachinko is gonna put Metal Gear back on the map, bro.
Yo, that's why I bought a bunch of stock in pachinko machines because I know that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a revolution, bro.
All right. All right. So who haven't I got to? You an Xbox. You an Xbox. So you Fred, go ahead, go with you, man. One game, 2017.
I'm gonna go with Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Wildlands.
Hey, I was wondering.
He
when
loves
you-
that Ghost Recon.
Ghost
Yeah,
Recon
man.
fan, and I streamed it on Beam the other day. If y'all didn't check that shit out,
I
but
was watching.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Ghost Recon Wildlands because I really want. I'm interested in seeing. This game was actually built from the fans of the franchise. If you guys didn't hear or watched the interview I did with some of the guys that have actually played Ghost Recon Wildlands a couple of years, I guess maybe a year ago, they actually were flown out to Ubisoft in Paris, and they actually played the game and gave their input on it. And some of the stuff that's put in this game are coming from hardcore Ghost Recon fans of the game. It'd be like bringing Xbot to Seattle, to make
the
Halo.
next Halo.
Yeah.
You hear that, Frank? Bonnie? Kiki? Yo, come on. I'm
This is
waiting.
basically what they did with this game, and so they brought out the fans of the game who've actually played like the original Ghost Recons or active in the community, and had them come out and play the game. So I want to see what they've created, because I think from everything I've heard so far about this game, this is the Ghost Recon that the fans have wanted. It's going to be the game that the fans have wanted, and the game that the creators of the original Ghost Recons have wanted to make. So I'm interested in seeing what they've done with this game and where it's going to go in the future.
Awesome. I figured you was gonna say Ghost Recon. All right. Xbot. So on you, brother. 2017.
All right, let's see if I can get away with this here.
Yeah.
Prey of Crackdown 3.
Ah.
See what I did there? I put Prey,
Yeah,
Sea
Prey.
of
Yeah.
Thieves, and Crackdown 3 together because I couldn't pick one, man.
Prey
I'm
of
sorry.
Thieves.
If I did have to pick one, Crackdown, just because of the personal story of Crackdown, with me being able to play with my son when he was living with his mom and stuff like that. Crackdown 2 it was the game that me and him used to play online all the time. I got to talk to him more. I got to play a game with him, just communicate a lot more and stuff like that. So Crackdown will always have a special place in my heart because of that. So I would probably have to say Crackdown 3.
All right, man. I didn't ask for tears, brother. Jesus Christ.
Come on, pulling the
I'm
heartstrings.
just playing. Yeah. I'm just playing. No, that's awesome though. That's pretty dope, man. For real. That's pretty awesome. Okay. For me, shit. I would say Sea of Thieves kind of jumped up the list for me, because I still don't know exactly what kind of game it's gonna be, but every fucking time I see it, it gets better and better. And I really, really feel like Rare's got back to what they do well with Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. I'm getting it just for community game night, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's is that my mic going off there? That noise in the background. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be like you said, I mean, community game, like that's like gonna be the perfect like party game. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I'm just looking forward to the world getting out there. I mean, when the last time we had a decent like pirate game? You know what I mean? Like
Shit.
based on pirates. I don't think
Yeah.
ever. I don't ever really. I can't think of one that was any good. But I think it's gonna be
Black
awesome. So that's
Flag,
what I.
but that
Yeah,
had
Well,
Black
yeah,
Flag.
Black Flag
to
was
it.
good. Black Flag was good. You're right. You're right. Okay. All right. But all right. So I mean, great topic, great questions. Looks like we're gonna wrap it up with that one, everybody. Man, appreciate you guys coming out. We ran a little longer than we typically would, but we had a lot of fun here today, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the panel. I'll start with my special guest here, Chicken Spaghetti Brother. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on BLAM and Shop Podcast crew. You can find me on YouTube, Chicken Spaghetti. I promise I have some more videos coming pretty soon. Just been busy with school lately. And also you can find me on Twitter at chicken_spaghetti, and also on Beam. It's not at, sorry about that. It's Chicken Spaghetti on Beam. So whenever I start live streaming, you can find me on there as well. And thank you again.
No problem, brother. No problem. We're gonna go with you next, Brutal. Let everybody know where they can find you, G.
No, come check out my Twitter. It's at Brutal Night. You can, if you do anything, come and follow me on Beam. Like I'm really trying to get my Beam going. That's really where I'm putting a lot of my focus into right now. Of course, you got to come check out Console Corner on Tuesdays. Got to give a shout out to Jay Williams, of course, and got to give a shout out to Manny Tattoo Artist. He hooked me up with a cool little banner that he drew up for me. I dig it a lot, man. So I just come by, come game, man. I love playing games. If you see me online, shoot me an invite. I'd be down to play some games with anybody who wants to get down on something. So that's it.
Well, there's a requirement. You have to have breasts if you play games with Brutal.
Chicken breast?
I did not specify what type of breast.
Whatever you want, dude. That's
I like
fine.
chicken, you know what I'm saying? I can buy some chicken for me.
I'm just fucking with you,
Oh.
Brutal.
I dig it, dude.
All right, man. So we're gonna
Doesn't
go.
like
We're gonna
breasts?
go with
I'll
the
ask that
governor
question.
next. We're gonna go with the governor. Let everybody know where they can find you any damn way. You all over the place.
No, man.
Right.
Go ahead and do
Seems
it.
like it.
Go ahead and do it anyway, GKB. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, it's GKB. You can find me on Gamers Knows Best on YouTube and Twitter. GKBX on Beam. I stream 3 nights a week. Same with She-Wolf. She does the same. We did an awesome interview with Henry from Hue, the game. It's a freaking awesome game. He's a great dude. We had a blast doing that kind of stuff. Gonna be on the Console Corner and Xbox Nation next week, so go ahead and check out everything we're doing. We love you guys. The community is fantastic. You guys rock. We really appreciate it. We get to do what we do because of you guys.
Awesome. Always real well spoken, man. All right. So Xbot. So on you, brother, where can everybody find you, man?
I just still want to know who ordered this pizza though. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't.
Italian
what's
ass.
going
Why
on.
don't you eat the pizza?
I don't like anchovies, man. But I try to keep things simple, everything across the board, whether it's Xbox Live, whether it's my YouTube channel, Twitter, it's all Xbot448. As you guys know, we just did the next podcast a little while back. I had a really special guest on there, so you guys should definitely check that out. You can find me on Mooch's channel every Friday on Crossfire. Of course, the nextpodcast.com, awesome website. Definitely check that out as well. But yeah, dude, as always, it's a pleasure coming on here, man. I love talking games with you guys.
Appreciate it, man. The Gamers Block. That's what it's called. Xbox. Hey, we need a T-shirt. We need something saying hashtag Gamers Block, man. Something Xbox. We got to get
Jet
that.
Williams, let's
We
go.
got to get that. Yeah, man. The Gamers Block, man. Holla at us, man. Somebody, Manny, Jay, one of y'all. All right, and then Fred, it's on you, G. It's on you, man. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me here every Saturday. I don't know how much airtime I'm going to get in the next couple of months due to some other stuff going on, but I still do videos about once a week on my channel, the Xbox After Party. I do a lot of Beam streaming now, just random games, whatever I feel like playing for the day. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll get the updates for that. I'm at Predator_HOS on there as well. And other than that, man, Nothing else going on. Thanks for Chicken for coming on today, and Xbox for showing up today as well.
For sure, for sure. All right, man. So you guys know me. I am the host of the show, PTK BLAM, man, here on the Shop Podcast. Once again, I want to hey, yes, married man, officially, man. I appreciate it. It's lovely.
Life is over for you.
Oh my God. Hey, don't. If my wife is listening, I will edit that out. I promise. All right, but no, you guys are awesome, and I always love having you guys here on the panel. Shout out to Chicken, man, for coming through. I know we had some technical difficulties.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man, anytime you want to come on, man, holla at me, man. I may just shoot you a random DM one day, man. So who knows, brother? Anytime, you're always welcome to come on. So I am PTK BLAM all across the board on Xbox. Here on Twitter and on YouTube also too. Please rate, comment, subscribe, sub to the channel. All these gentlemen here have YouTube channels, so they have other things going on, live streams on Beam, a lot of different stuff. You know, all subscribe to all of them. They have great content, and we love what we do because of you guys. So we out of here, everybody. So as GKB would say,
take care of your fellow gamers.
All right, man. We out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Go Cowboys.
Good luck.
New York football.